Lesson 11. Clairvoyance of the past. The clairvoyant perception of the facts, events and happenings of past time. There is no difference in the nature of this strange phenomenon, whether the past time be but 5 minutes or else 5,000 years. How is it possible to see a thing that no longer exists? The just how of this strange happening. Nothing could be perceived if it had actually disappeared from existence. But nothing entirely disappears in fact. On the astral plane are recorded all things, events and happenings since the beginning of the present world cycle. The Akashic records, or the astral light, constitute the great record books of the past. The clairvoyant gaining access to these may read the past like a book. Analogies in physical science. Interesting scientific facts. What astronomy teaches on the subject. How the records of the past are stored. How they are read by the clairvoyant. A fascinating subject is clearly presented and explained. Lesson 12. Clairvoyance of the future. The clairvoyant power manifests in all forms of perception of facts, happenings and events of future time. Explanation of prophecy, prevision, foretelling, second sight, etc. These powers are not supernatural, but are merely the development of the clairvoyant faculties. How may a thing be seen years before it really exists? Nothing could be seen unless it existed in some form, at least potential and latent. Keen perception of the subconscious faculties. Subconscious reasoning from cause to effect. Coming events cast their shadows before. Fate versus free will. Time is but a relative mode of regarding things. Events may, in some sense, exist always, both past and future. Time is like a moving picture reel, containing the future seen at the present moment, though out of sight. The analogy of dream time. An absolute consciousness in which past, present and future exist as a single perception. A glimpse of transcendental truth. How to acquire the faculty of future clairvoyance. Lesson 13. Second sight, prevision, etc. Many persons, in all times, in all lands, have possessed the gift of looking into the future. Not a superstition, but a scientific fact. The investigations of the scientific bodies. The Society for Psychical Research, and its reports on this phase of clairvoyance. Interesting case told by a leading theosophist. Tragedy and funeral foreseen by clairvoyant prevision or second sight. Historical instances. George Fox, the Quaker, and his second sight. The prophecy of the death of Caesar. Biblical instances. The celebrated case of Cazot, which has become a matter of history. How Cazot foretold the coming of the French Revolution, including the fate of eminent personages present at the time of the prophecy. A startling occurrence, well worthy of careful study. The historical case of the assassination of Spencer Perceval, Chancellor of the Exchequer. Other well-authenticated cases. Symbolic visions. Irish and Scotch cases. Lesson 14. Astral body traveling. Astral visioning in clairvoyance, and visioning by means of the astral body. The difference between the two phases of clairvoyant phenomena. The characteristics of astral body traveling. How one traveling in the astral body may see all around him, instead of merely gazing at an astral picture. Limitations of astral body visioning. What the astral body really is, and what it is like. How it disengages itself from the physical body and travels in space. Many persons travel in the astral during ordinary sleep. Occult teachings regarding astral body traveling. How dying persons often travel in the astral body before death. Many interesting cases were cited, all well authenticated by scientific investigation. Society for Psychical Research records and reports on such cases. Dangers of uninstructed persons going out on the astral, except in a dream state. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. A timely warning. A most important and interesting subject. Lesson 15. Strange astral phenomena. Additional phases of astral phenomena. Projection of thought forms. Something between ordinary clairvoyance and astral body perception. What a thought form is. How it is created. What it does. Where it goes. How a portion of one's consciousness is projected in a thought form. Using a thought form as at-cut post or observation point. How things appear when viewed from a thought form. A wonderful phase of occult phenomena. Advantages and disadvantages of this form of clairvoyant visioning. Hindu psychic magic and how it is performed. Remarkable illusory effects produced by Hindu magicians. All is explained when the principle of the creation and projection of thought forms is understood. Why the Hindus excel in this phase of occultism. An interesting description of Hindu magic feats. The power of concentrated visualization. The phenomena of levitation, or the moving of articles at a distance. The occult explanation of this phenomenon. A natural explanation for so-called supernatural occurrence. Lesson 16. Psychic influence, its laws and principles. The laws and principles underlying the power of one mind to influence and affect another mind. More than ordinary telepathy. The inductive power of mental vibrations. Everything is in vibration. Mental vibrations are much higher scale than physical vibrations. What induction is? How a mental state or an emotional feeling tends to induce a similar state in another mind. Many instances are cited. The different degrees of vibratory influence and what causes the difference. The contagious effect of a strong feeling. Why does a strong desire have a dynamic effect in certain cases? The power of visualization in psychic influence. The attractive power of thought. The effect of mental concentration. Focusing your forces. Holding the mind to a state of one-pointedness. Why the occultist controls his imagination. Suggestions as to practice and rules of development. A few easily mastered principles give you the key to the whole of this wonderful subject. Lesson 17. Personal psychic influence over others. Psychic influence exerted over others when in their presence. Different degrees of influence. Possession of this power by Alexander the Great, Napoleon Bonaparte, Julius Caesar, and other great leaders of men. The ability to influence others is a sure sign of the possession of this psychic power. The three underlying principles of psychic influence. The importance of a strong desire to influence and exert power. The importance of clear, positive mental pictures of what effect you wish to produce. The importance of the firm concentration of your mind on the subject. The creation of a positive psychic atmosphere. The positive psychic aura. How to project your psychic power. The psychic struggle between two persons. How to handle yourself in such conflicts of psychic power. How to neutralize the psychic power of others and thus disarm them. The occult shield of defense. Valuable directions regarding practice and development of psychic power. Scientific exercises for development. Important rules of practice. Lesson 18. Psychic influence at a distance. Psychic influence over others is manifested when they are distant from the person exerting the influence. Distance no obstacle. Psychic induction at long range. How to create the en rapport condition with the other person. How to protect yourself against such influence at a distance. The psychic armor. Psychometric method of producing distant en rapport condition. To proceed when the en rapport condition is secured. The scientific explanation of the old tales about sorcery, witchcraft, supernatural influence, etc. The effect of fear and belief on the mind of the other person. The effect of denial. The secret of many strange cases made plain. Some typical cases. The master key unlocks the doors of many mysteries. Low forms of occultism and how they may be defeated. Dangerous teachings in some quarters. Warnings against their use. The astral tube, how it is erected, used and employed. A simple, plain explanation of a puzzling occult manifestation. Self-protection. Lesson 19. Laws of psychic attraction. How psychic vibrations tend to attract to their creator other persons vibrating along the same lines, and things having a relation to the things thought of. Harmony and inharmony in the psychic world. The law of psychic attraction. The law of psychic repulsion. An important phase of astral phenomena. The law works two ways. It draws other persons and things to you, and you to other persons and things. How the men of big business operate under this law of attraction. How scheming exploiters of the public actually treat the public by psychic means. The various forms of psychic influence are employed by persons of this kind. The law of attraction and how it works out in business life. The scientific facts behind the outward appearance of things. Instances and examples of the working out of these laws and principles. The law of psychic attraction is as constant and invariable as the great law of gravitation or magnetic attraction. The correlation of thoughts and things. How we may create our own environment by psychic influence. Lesson 20. Psychic and magnetic healing. The psychic principles underlying the many forms of psychic or mental healing. Many theories, one set of principles. Psychic healing is as old as the race. The basic principles of psychic healing. The physiological principles involved. How the astral body is used in psychic healing. Human magnetism and what it really is. All about prana. The laying on of hands in healing and what is back of it. What happens in magnetic healing? The secret of absent healing. Space is no barrier in psychic healing. The human aura and psychic healing. The secret of suggestive therapeutics. The effect of the affirmations of the healers. How the healing cults obtain good results. Self-healing by psychic power. Absent healing by psychic power. How to treat others by absent treatment. Valuable instructions and practical methods of psychic healing. The whole subject is condensed and made plain, so that it may be applied by any person of average intelligence. No fanciful theories, only plain, practical facts for the actual application.